They ignore medical ethics, have affairs, and even sing right in the office. Oh, what wouldn't the scriptwriters do to keep the audience hooked? Was Derek's death planned in Season 1? Why didn't the clinic lose its license for their serious medical mistakes? And how can qualified doctors have no idea that their colleague has a brain tumor? Hi, I'm Dylan, and you're watching Ossa'm Movies. Christina should come back. We'll start with the fans' favorite, who recently got a SAG award for a role in another hit. In the end of Season 10, Sandra Oh left Grey's Anatomy. The scriptwriters decided to send the character to Switzerland and subtly withdraw her from the story. Since then, Christina has never made her way back into the lives of the characters, even though there were a few occasions where she could at least make a call or even come visit. Anyways, in Grey's Anatomy world, it makes no difference if you are in Switzerland or dead. You just won't be remembered. O's fans keep hoping she'll come back to the show, at least as a guest star, but apparently it's not going to happen in the near future. I can feel it from the fans how much they love Christina, and that the show also still keeps Christina alive, but for me, killing Eve is my home now, she said. Ignoring the rules. Sometimes it seems like the showrunners totally forget what the series is about. Doctors. As doctors have certain standards and rules they must follow without exception. Simple hygienic procedures need doctors to be thoroughly prepared for the operation. They must wash their hands, nails, and wrists to avoid infections. Doctors also mustn't touch anything without gloves on. But where are the gloves? They enter the operating room as they want and do what they want, and that's totally against medical ethics. We've also noticed that not all the doctors like taking their jewelry off for surgeries, and it's also a big violation. Christina and Bailey were spotted doing so. It's weird that after so many years of shooting, and considering the fact there are consulting doctors on the set, the Grey's Anatomy showrunners still make such ridiculous mistakes. They sing! Do you remember episode 144? Many of us are trying to forget it because it was a musical. Let's make it clear. Musicals are a great independent genre, which has about nothing in common with Grey's Anatomy. The first musical episode was in Buffy back in the 2000s, and then episodes with the same concept occasionally made their way into shows such as Scrubs and How I Met Your Mother. But after the Grey's Anatomy episode aired, the fans were, to put it softly, a bit lost. Did you see how ridiculous it was? Everyone noticed that Callie couldn't hold a tune. I mean, we love Grey's Anatomy, but just not for its vocal performances. We want to see soap operas and difficult professional dilemmas, preferably with no music. Everyone seems to be glad there has only been one musical episode on the show. If you don't agree, and if the episode made you feel differently, let us know in the comments. Prophetic Dreams. Attention, spoiler! Fans of the show already know that in Season 11, Derek died from complications related to a car accident. But do you remember that Meredith had a prophetic dream about it? Yes, don't be surprised, especially since the show has been on for so many years. Sometimes the showrunners run out of creative ideas, and all they have left is prophetic dreams. In the first episode of Season 6, Meredith has a dream about Derek dying in an accident. That's what she said back then. It's the nightmares that always seem to be reality. The person that invented the phrase happily ever after should have his ass kicked so hard. And despite the fact that there were no more prophetic dreams in the show, we'd like to ask the showrunners once again, please do more professional dramas and develop the characters. We would like less of the prophetic dreams and chiromancy. Easter eggs. Episode number 300 was quite a festive one for the fans. The showrunners planted a number of Easter eggs here and there, and we did like some of them a lot. An example being the reference to Meredith's old friends, the three visitors at the clinic, who really looked like characters of Grey's Anatomy who left the show. Look, they're the spitting images of Christina, Izzy, and George. Not only do their faces look similar, they even wear similar clothes to those that the characters wore in the pilot. Good job, showrunners. Although the main characters can't come back to the show, it's still nice to see these three come back at least. It's like they were sent by our favorite characters to say hi to us and say they miss us too. Nurses in the background. We totally understand that it's the main characters who have to be in the front in an active position during the surgeries, so they better do everything with their own hands. But in fact, during real surgeries, it's the nurses who do a lion's share of this difficult work. They are constantly assisting doctors with some of the duties. But where are they in the Grey's Anatomy? Here they are. pacing the corridors while our poor characters are sweating, saving someone's lives. We don't know, but perhaps after this video, the Grey's Anatomy showrunner Shonda Rhimes will be inspired to bring the nurses to the operating room and even give them some work. Because we are really puzzled with the questions of where the nurses are when they're supposed to be working. Maybe Shonda has a personal vendetta with nurses? Water. Breaking with no water and no breaking. Remember Dr. Bailey? You might recall she was pregnant, and once, while in the lab, her water breaks and what do we see? First of all, she's very calm about it, even though it would be a shock to any woman. Then she hurries out of the lab room to deliver her baby, and what do we see? She's wearing jeans, perfectly dry jeans. Did her water really break? How did that happen? And how does the team who's been doing the show about medicine for 15 years manage to ignore this obvious medical aspect? Okay, it's all fiction, but let's talk real pregnancies, which couldn't be avoided for 15 years. Pregnancy and other reasons one can't consume alcohol. When the show's been on for so many years, it's no surprise that the actors get married, divorced, and even have kids. And that's exactly what happened to Ellen Pompeo. During the main star's pregnancy, the showrunners had to try really hard to hide this fact from the audience without pulling her from the show. That's when they created the arc about the liver transplantation Meredith had, as she donated a part of her liver to her father suffering from alcoholism. All the time on the set, she was laying down in a bed and her belly was well hidden. So if you don't have a part of your liver, what should you be avoiding in the first place? Tequila parties, Meredith, your favorite tequila parties. After dealing with Pompeo's pregnancy, the showrunners totally forgot that after that, Meredith, as a doctor, had to take better care of her health, especially considering the fact that part of her liver is gone. Yet that didn't happen, and it probably won't happen. Well, cheers, Meredith, and let's move on. Concilium on every question. If you have visited a hospital at least once, you've definitely seen how busy the doctors are at work. They're always in a hurry, running through the corridors and paying less attention to patients than we wish they did. But not in Grey's Anatomy. Have you ever noticed that there are always many characters talking to the patients? A fan wrote on Reddit that this is something that is unrealistic about the series. Having multiple doctors in your room patiently explaining things and then sticking around just so you feel better? Yes, there are cases in real life when doctors sit down and discuss a severe case, but it's a very rare occasion. Yet, in Grey's Anatomy, that's what we see practically in every episode. No consequences. Do you realize how responsible a doctor has to be? They shouldn't be flirting with interns and solving their personal issues during working hours. Doctors need to be serious and be thorough, as their jobs require their full attention. Otherwise, they might get sued. In the show, we saw at least 3 cases when random objects remained inside patients' bodies during surgeries. Preston Burke forgot his towel there back when he was an intern, and this is not the only case. Shouldn't the clinic lose its license? Shouldn't the doctors lose theirs too? Burke might have become a cardio god after that, but in real life, he would never be able to continue his career as a surgeon after such an incident. Unexpected dismissals. Ongoing shows are just as alive as the body of any of the patients in Grey's Anatomy. The character Erica Hahn, who appeared in Season 2 and was promoted to a series regular in Season 4 but was fired in Season 5 simply because the scriptwriters ran out of ideas, they didn't know how to develop her character and what to do next. And unfortunately, Brooke Smith had to quit her job in one of the most loved American shows. Unnoticed brain tumor. If you are a fan of the show, you definitely remember there are actually 2 characters who have had brain tumors that no one noticed, Izzy and Amelia. For instance, Izzy's brain tumor went undetected for months despite her being a doctor, working in a hospital with other doctors and having vivid visual and auditory hallucinations. It's obvious it wouldn't be possible in real life. Everyone, especially doctors, would notice if there was something wrong with someone. It's hard to believe that not 1 but 2 doctors have had the same storyline. And honestly, it doesn't make sense. It seems strange that Amelia, in particular, wouldn't know about her own tumor sooner. A final wish. Here's another detail that the showrunners missed, either accidentally or on purpose. From the very beginning of the show, there have been many hints that Derek would pass away at an early age. Anyway, in Season 1, Derek tells Meredith that if he is ever in a coma or on his last legs, he just wants his sister to be next to him. In the 11th season, it happens exactly like that, and Meredith seems to have forgotten about their conversation. Really? Did she actually forget what he said 10 seasons ago? Anyways, it was a powerful dramatic moment and an amazing 10 seasons with Derek. All these love affairs. And of course, one of the main things we forgive Grey's Anatomy for is the love chaos in Seattle Grace. Everyone's dating, everyone's cheating. Some doctors date interns, some date their patients. It's not really acceptable in the doctor's world, and doctors can actually get in trouble for having a love affair with a patient. One of the cutest romantic stories of Grey's Anatomy was between Dr. Alex Karev and his patient Ava. However, no matter how touching this story was, you shouldn't forget it would be impossible in real life. But that's why we watch Grey's Anatomy. They always have something interesting in store for us. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to stay awesome.